Hey everyone, back again. Hey, Yvette, I wanted to add this in because I didn't, cover it quite as well in that tapping video. But the loss of income and being pissed about that, especially your bonus being taken away. And I just wanted to share this experience with you. Back when I was in corporate, it was actually the last company that I worked for before I quit and started to do this full time. They had come to me really early on, probably about a year into working with them, and they asked me to take a $10,000 pay cut. Hey, Carrie. So they came and said, we need you to, the sales manager flew in from over in Arizona and took me to lunch, and hey, waving back, and I felt like just dropped the bomb. So like takes me to lunch. It's this relaxed atmosphere, and then all of a sudden he said, hey, I need to talk to you. And I was like, what? He goes, we need you to take a $10,000 pay cut. And I'm like, what? And I was in such shock back then. And I was like, and I did I have tapping then? No, it was just before I found tapping. And I was like pissed. First I was in shock. Then I was pissed and I was really upset, and I came home and I told my husband, and he had this great suggestion. And that's why, Yvette, I think this might be good for you to do. And I think for anybody that you feel insecure about something, if you feel insecure about, say, being a business owner, if you feel insecure about being a parent, if you feel insecure about being a partner with somebody, if you feel insecure about being an employee, this is a really good exercise to do. So my husband said, Mart, you should sit down and you need to write out all the years of experience you have, all the relationships you have, how not only them not taking a pay cut, like the benefits that they get from having hired somebody with experience. And he said, and just do it for yourself. Like, don't go in. You don't have to go in and tell them this. This was an awesome suggestion. And it's so true, because so many of us have this general idea of, hey, I'm kind of good at this, but we're not really anchoring it in. So any area of your life where you feel insecure, or say like they're asking you to take a drop in income, it's like, really? Like you're not going to walk by $800 a month sitting on the street. And for me, I was like, I wouldn't walk by 10 grand sitting on the street. So that's a significant pay cut to me. So what I did is I went home and I wrote out all this, like all the 30 years of experience I had in the industry. I did all the relationships that I had here in New Mexico that I had built over the 20 some odd years I had lived here, how I had the inroads to walk into doors with people that a new person would not have, and how that was a saving of time. And I just anchored that into myself. And it's like that, you're like, my posture straightens up a bit. And I never once said any of that to any of them. What I did is the next day, I went to them and I said, hey, it's not going to work for me to take a pay cut. So let's come up with an exit strategy that makes sense. That will give me time to find something else, and it will give you time to find my replacement. And the most amazing thing happened. They're like, whoa, wait, no, that's not what we had in mind at all. And not only did I not take that pay cut, my income with that company in that next year went up 25 grand. So if you want to add in keeping the 10 and getting a $25,000 increase, we're talking $35,000. Like, I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. And I really believe it was because I had anchored in just energetically in myself, like, oh my God, like I just was so solid in my own conviction of my abilities and skills in that industry. And the interesting thing is, that company has called me 2 or 3 times over the last almost 4 years, said, hey, any chance you want to come back? So it's funny in that way. And so Yvette, to you with that loss of income, and to anybody, Carrie, anything you're struggling with where you feel like, I would really write it out. I created a thing called your value journal from that. So like write out all the value that you have, whatever that area in your life you're feeling not so good about. And Carrie, like you said, you caretake for your dad. And I would say people can really get like jaded unconsciously about what you do for them. And I know when I was in corporate sales, it was always good to go into customers and remind them what I did for them. And then they're like, oh yeah, you're right. And not in a haughty, arrogant way at all. Just like, hey, do you understand, what's happening here? Because I think we often, first of all, we need to remind ourselves what we're doing for other people, so that we feel good about it. And just energetically, when we anchor that into ourselves, it just goes out there. Like I said, I never said a word to this company about, I did this, I've got this relationship, this. I just really anchored it into myself, and there you go. So I want to share that for you. I would just highly recommend, write out an inventory of all that you are capable of in your work. And if that doesn't shift something in the company that you're with, then you might anchor it in so that you're like, you know what? I value myself enough, and I'm going to find work someplace else. So say you go out and you interview with somebody else, you're going to be so congruent with all the value that you have to offer. So anyway, I wanted to share that piece. And for anybody, Carrie, I always, love seeing you here. Anything that you're feeling insecure about or not solid in, definitely do that exercise. And because it will anchor it into you, like, man, I've done all this. It's really good to take an inventory of your skills, talents, and abilities, and really things that you do for other people. So that's it. Have a great rest of your day, Carrie. Glad you're here live, and see you next time. Bye.